All right, thank you for staying with us. Moving on, in most recent time, company income tax reports, that CIT reports by the National Bureau of Statistics says tax payments for Nigeria's businesses declined by 15%. Well, that's in the final quarter of 2023. The total tax revenue to federal government also saw a decline from the second consecutive quarter, dropping to 533.93 billion naira in Q4 from 651.612 billion in the preceding quarters. Well, a lot of figures here, but let's get to business. I have Mr. Abiodun Kayode Ali. He's a senior manager, also an economist. He's with PricewaterhouseCoopers. Thank you so much. It's good to see you. It's been a while.
For having me.
It's good to have you in the studio. But I want to first ask you, now, how did the CIT revenue now to the federal government perform in the fourth quarter with what you've seen, what MBS has released, and what factors contributed to this decline compared to, obviously, the previous quarter?
Okay, so first of all, I think one thing I must say is that it's nothing to be worried about.
Okay, good.
And the reason why I say that is because typically, companies, by the time they've gone through their financial year, they have a period of about 6 months to file their tax returns and to pay their taxes.
Yes.
Now, most companies in Nigeria, they have their financial year end in the period of December. So, given the fact that they have a December year end, it simply means that their profits will be paid in the subsequent year. So, for December 2022, the profits and the returns will be filed in 2023. So, that's why you see that for the full year, most of the remittances that we have came in the second quarter, which is 6 months, right? Second quarter is 6 months from December 2022 year end. And in some instances, when maybe these companies are unable to make their remittances on the last day of June 30th, 2023, you will see that those remittances will come in the third quarter. So that's why you see remittances coming mostly in the second and in the third quarter. So the fact that we see a drop in the fourth quarter could either mean that few companies who probably have their financial year end in the second quarter, take for instance probably June, they would be the ones that will be making their remittances in the fourth quarter. So it's nothing to be worried about. One thing that we should know is that if you compare the total amount that was recorded by the National Bureau of Statistics, that was recorded by the tax authorities, if you compare 2023 to 2022, it increased. If you compare 2022 to 2021, it increased. So year on year, there's been an increase, even though in the fourth quarter, remittances do come out to be low. But this is something that has been shown historically to be the trend. There is really nothing to be worried about there.
Interesting stuff. But President Tinubu's announcement of subsidy removal, which is a talk everywhere, everyone keeps talking about, how has that affected the business environment, as mentioned in that report?
Okay, so like you rightly said, everyone talks about it, right? So it does impact everyone, right? From the the common man, right, even to the high and wealthy. Well, generally, it's going to impact on businesses for their 2023 financial year. So you will see the impact of it when they are actually making remittances in 2024. You're going to see a lot of the impact of that. So generally, businesses, right, corporates, even small and medium scale enterprises, what has happened is that they've experienced increase in their operating expenses, right? If you want to consider it, the removal of the subsidy definitely increased the price that you pay for petrol, right? Moving it from something like 160 back then to something within the range of 600 currently. So the implication is that given the fact that most businesses and corporates, there is a derived demand for that petrol itself. They need it either to power their businesses or they probably need it for their logistics and transport. So what we expect to see is an increase. And we've started seeing that, especially for companies that are listed on the stock exchange. If you go on their website and you download their annual reports, you begin to see that there has been a tremendous increase in their operating expenses, especially when it comes to electricity, power costs such as diesel, and especially when it also comes to what else comes to mind? Transports and logistics, right? So you would see that increase. I looked at MTN's costs with respect to the exchange losses that they've incurred. Let's not forget that on the 14th of June, the CBN took that policy to unify exchange rates. So this actually impacted on their exchange losses as well. So you see MTN making a loss this current year. So these are some of the impacts that we have.
All right.